What's up, YouTube? It's Leah's mom, Ty, and today I wanted to do the video on my HSG experience, and that is the Hysterosalpingogram. I will put the name right here because I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. But I just wanted to show you guys my experience. I have video and pictures, so stay tuned. Okay, guys, let's get started. So, the Hysterosalpingogram is a outpatient procedure where you go and, well, I'll just tell you how mine went. So I went and they had me lay down, put my legs up in the stirrups, and in my hospital where I got it done at, it was done by the radiology tech, I'm pretty sure, because the radiology doctor was standing behind the lead. Yeah, is it the lead screen? Well, it's not a screen, it's actually a wall, the lead wall, watching the video, the pictures come across and like giving directions. When I had this done 6 years ago, it was done by my doctor and the radiologist. So this was a little bit different. So they had me lay down, put your legs in a stirrup, and then they cleaned me out with betadine, and just betadine. And then they used the speculum to open me up, and then they used, I don't know the technical term, but I think it might be a catheter with a balloon, and I'm not sure. I don't know. All I know is that they stick a thing. I don't know if it's two things or if it's just a catheter with a balloon on it. So let's just, for the sake of saying it, because I don't know, and I'm not going to say I do know, but let's just say for the sake of saying that they use a catheter with the balloon on the end. And the balloon is to make sure when they're injecting the dye, that the dye does not just fall right back out. So the objective of an HSG is to shoot contrast dye up your uterus and through your fallopian tubes to make sure that they are patent or open. And when I did this 6 years ago, it was extremely painful. I thought I was dying. To me was worse than cramps, because this was just a constant, like, no build up. Like when you were in labor, like there's a build up and then there's a let down. Like this was just straight pain, and some people say they do and some people say they don't feel it, but I definitely felt it 6 years ago. So I went in there preparing myself because a little backstory about me, if you're new to my channel, I have been trying to conceive for 2 years now, and last year I only ovulated 4 times, or is it 2? I think 2018 I only ovulated 4 times, and last year I only ovulated twice. So I have PCOS, and mine is the non-insulin resistant kind that just my hormones are all out of whack. So I don't ovulate. I could go 3 million years without ovulating, and that's just how my body is. So before I started this round of letrozole, which before the last 2 years I've been doing Clomid. I did 1 round of letrozole, but that I was mostly doing Clomid. But before I did that, I decided to get all testing redone, because even I ovulated 4 times in 2018 and twice last year, and I just wanted to be sure that I wasn't just taking this medication in vain. Some people say anything, well, doctors say anything can change, and I didn't know if anything had changed. They opted when I started the treatments all over again to start the testing before, but they said it wasn't 100% needed because I had successfully had open tubes and had a successful pregnancy, my only one. So they didn't feel that it was 100% necessary, but that I could if I wanted to. So before I started this, I said I wanted to get everything tested. My husband's sperm, the HSG, and blood work and all that good stuff. So fast forward to the HSG again. By now they had the balloon inside of me, and they blew it up and started to push the contrast dye. Now, I was comparing this to what happened last time when I had it 6 years ago before I got pregnant with Leah, and then to this time. This time it didn't hurt at all. And I was like, what? Maybe I was remembering it different or something like that. I couldn't like understand in my mind, like, why is this? I didn't feel any pain at all. And, you know, she just kept pushing dye. It was taking picture after picture after picture. And the radiologist behind the lead wall would be like, have her turn supine, or for the purpose of this video, I'll just say turn her left, turn her right, you know, lay back straight and everything. And I didn't move around when I got it 6 years ago, but this time like they were having me move to the side, and I thought it was weird. And I'm like, you know, and it was taking a while. Last time I had it, it hurt, but it was really, really quick. It was like maybe 1 or 2 minutes of like that intense pain, but it wasn't a long time. And so that happened until she ran out of the contrast, and the doctor was like, no, I need more pictures. So they had to redraw up more contrast, and she said, I'm going to reposition the balloon. Well, she repositioned the balloon, and I thought I was going to die. Once again, it felt like exactly like the pain I had felt before back in the day. And it was like, I couldn't understand it. It was just like, it was so painful. So that happened, like, and then I was just like, you know, like clamping up and like just clenching trying to, you know, but as soon as I started to display discomfort, she was like, okay, you know, let's just stop. And I was like, thank God, you know, because this, it started, and I got videos I'm going to insert, and I'll insert that now. See this right here. This is the picture of it. I can't get any closer because my screen will start to pixelate. But as you can see, this here is my uterus. Let me put this down, and this here is my uterus. This here is the balloon that they use to blow up and keep the contrast in. But as you can see, you cannot see my tubes, even though right here, and I also want you to please take note of how high this balloon is. But this is the left side, so I could kind of see here where the tube started, and then everything disappears. So this is my uterus, but you can't see any of my tubes, not in this picture. And as you can see, this was 8/18. Okay, so I jumped to the last picture, which you can see is 8/24, which again was a really long time to be doing this. But this here, a little bit, you can kind of see here a little bit of dye coming in on my left side of my tube. And again, did you notice, whereas before the balloon was up here, now this was when she had redid it and went back in and did it again, and the balloon is actually like basically at my cervix. And you know, so I didn't understand why, like, the pictures, they get progressively, they go down further. Like, it was here, the one picture was down here, then the other picture was down here, now it's down here. Like, the balloon just kept on going further down. And as you can see, it's not even really blown up here. So, well, as you can see in there, I felt really let down from the videos, from the pictures. It wasn't videos, I took the video. From the pictures, you couldn't tell at all that my tubes, I couldn't see in any of the pictures, any of the frames, that the dye was going through my tubes. Like it looked it like in like 1 or 2 pictures, like at the very end of the tube, like because it was kind of further from the uterus, but like they could neither confirm or deny. So after it was all over, they told me to go and wash myself as good as possible and to lay down to take a post x-ray, and that what that does is that just shows like any spillage that may have come through the tubes will have worked its way through your tubes and then out. So your uterus, of course, there's no exit other than your fallopian tubes into your body. So when I went, I washed myself as good as I could, and then I came back and laid down and they took another x-ray. And so then she was like, the radiologist actually is the one that told me. The doctor never even came in and said, you know, she came and introduced herself and that was it. But so after that, you know, the radiologist was like, well, we think we see something through the left tube, but your right tube is blocked. Just like that. No feeling, no sorry to tell you, break this news to you, nothing. She said it just like that. And she was like, well, and we'll know more after we go through everything and we'll put it in report. You can look in my chart and look at the results, and we'll send it to your doctor. And that was it. She's like, you can get dressed and go. So to say I was super upset is an understatement. Like, I went back to work because I work in the hospital that I got it done at. Big mistake. I went back to work and I sat at my desk and I promptly started to cry. So, I'm working administration. So like, there was no one to see me except one of my coworkers. And I'm like, I'm not in patient, clinical anymore. I work in straight administration. So, I know not to get any tests done while I'm at work again. So I was just devastated. And, this video is, I'm doing this, now. Today is March 9th, but I had this test done on the 12th. I'm just now getting around to recording it because, as I said in my previous video, I am in my master's program, and school has taken precedent over YouTube. Unfortunately, I miss video vlogging all the time, and sometimes I think like maybe I should quit because I don't have enough time to devote to this. But as long as I can squeeze this time in, I will. If I find that it's becoming too much to find the time between work, family, and, you know, school and doing this, unfortunately something that's going to have to give. But for right now, I want to keep everybody informed because we are a family, and us TTCers, we know the struggle, and I want to, you know, kind of let you guys know where I was in my journey. So a major setback, like, I sat with my doctor, and he essentially said that you only need one tube open, and one of your tubes is open. From looking at the imaging, the after video, the one where they made me wipe off, and then I came back and got excuse me, when I came back and got, what is it? The after x-ray. When I came back and got the after x-ray is where he saw spillage near my bladder. Now, the only way I could have spillage near my bladder is if one of my tubes was open, and they already thought it was the left one. So they just are going with, it's my left one that's open and my right one is blocked. And I felt very frustrated. He said he didn't want to do a laparoscopic surgery just to explore. That's when they like do mentally invasive, like they make little cuts in your abdomen, and then they could put a little camera down there to go and kind of investigate. And he said he didn't feel like that was necessary. I had one good tube that was open, and not all of the time laparoscopic surgery is conclusive. He said he read studies that it is not. So I'm going to go into these next. I'm going to do like 4 to 6 rounds of Femara. I'm currently cycle day 38. I've started taking the Provera to induce AF or a period. And then I will start the Letrozole 7.5, which is the highest that they will go, because I only respond at super high doses. I was at Clomid at 150 milligrams, and I also took 200, which is kind of unheard of. No doctor usually prescribes Clomid that high. I took it and I ovulated, did not get pregnant. So long story short, the doctor says you only need one tube to get pregnant. Supposedly your tubes are not actually connected to your ovary like it people would assume. It's actually like little finger like things that's open. This is your fallopian tube, open to the these, I don't even know what these little things are called, but this here, let's just assume, is your ovary. Supposedly when you ovulate, the egg comes through and your fallopian tube sucks it in. Now apparently there is proven research that says sometimes if you ovulate from the tube that you have that is blocked, your fallopian tube can, the one that's open, can grab that egg. It can migrate over, and I find that all very hard to believe, but if there is evidence, which I did read and which the doctor did tell me, but again, it's super hard for me to just like digest that my left tube is gonna go reaching over and grabbing my right egg when it pops out, because you ovulate from a different side of your body every cycle. So let's say January, if you ovulated on your left side, February you're gonna go on the right side, March you're gonna go on the left side, April you're gonna go on the right side. So it goes back and forth. And let's say you have like super long what are they called, cycles, where your body tries to ovulate on the left, and let's say 50 days in you ovulate, that means you're going to ovulate on that opposite side, because once your body tries to ovulate the first time and does not, that egg gets absorbed and it becomes a cyst, and then your body tries the next dominant egg, which is usually on the opposite side, starts to develop, and you'll ovulate from that side. So depending on, women mostly know like where that little pain you get, like that little twinge when you're about to ovulate, whatever side it's going to be on. So I say all that to say, I'm not giving up. I'm believing that I serve an almighty God and that I'm going to get my baby. So I am staying prayerful, and I am going to see what these next 4 to 6 months looks like on Letrozole, and I will keep you guys updated as best as I can. If you have any questions, comment down below. Thanks for watching, you guys, for watching. Don't forget to give this channel a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Baby dust to you all.
And the priest said bye.